Hi friends, how are you doing today? I'm Ramandeep Singh, you're watching a YouTube channel IELTS Coaching, and thanks for joining me for today's video. Well, you all are checking this video because you too face the trouble handling the MCQs in the listening part. So let's move on and start today's video, and before we move ahead, I request you to please subscribe my channel and help me to grow more. Please share my videos with your friends, and along with subscribing YouTube channel IELTS Coaching, download IELTS Coaching application as well, where you can find lots of study material related to IELTS and many courses as well. Please check Lockdown series course there with free contents of day 1, and if you like it, you can make the payment to unlock the course. So getting back to the business, we are talking about MCQs. We are talking about section 3, section 4 of IELTS listening. Now, before I move ahead, I would like to clear one doubt of the students that they usually keep, that on a given day, listening is difficult or not. Some students feel that when the exam is with the GT students, listening is difficult. They think GT listening is difficult. However, GT students feel that academic listening is difficult. But the clarification of this doubt is quite funny. Listening for both academic and GT students is same. You cannot find any book in the market that would say it's a listening for academic students or a listening for GT students. GT and academic listening is always common no matter where you study, which book you study. So never have this doubt in your mind, especially the academic students who say that I don't want to book the exam with the GT students because that day listening would be difficult, or the vice versa, that I would book the exam with the GT students because with GT students listening is going to be easier, because there are many academic students who feel that GT listening is easier. So listening MCQs, especially with very long options, something like this, troubles students a lot. Students especially who wants to target beyond 6.5, that is 7, 8, especially GT students with 8 band requirement, they got trapped in listening, especially because of the MCQs. Now I'm going to share a strategy with you that will really help you to handle MCQs in a better way. Well, all I say, if your target is in between 5 to 6, do not worry much about it, because you have to thoroughly understand what the speakers say, and only students with a very good ability of understanding can improve their score in MCQ. Without understanding the complete context, you really cannot handle MCQs well. There are students who listen to the MCQs. As soon as they listen to one keyword or highlighted word the speaker says that is there in one of the option, they simply take and say, yes, this is the answer, for example, option B. But it is not like that. The speaker would talk about each and every option. He would try to bring the keywords of all the options, and you have to thoroughly listen to the speaker right from the very first word till the end, and then after understanding the whole context, you have to decide what would be the correct option. I'm not going to share tips and tricks in this video. I'm going to tell you the right strategy for improvement. Now, what you must do is, to develop your overall understanding of the context, you should check for the transcripts. I have this transcript right in front of you. This transcript is of a conversation of MCQ questions. So now, what you should be doing? I recommend that you must read this transcript and play the audio. Don't look at the questions. I'm telling you, this is a strategy to improve your listening. I repeat, play the audio, have the transcript right in front of you, and start reading and understanding along with it. And once the speaker stops, then move to the questions. See where the questions are, and this time, without listening to the audio tape, try to answer all the questions. Only those students who would have understood the conversation really well and have retained the information in their mind would be able to answer all the questions, and I believe correctly. but those who fail to concentrate, fail to understand, and fail to retain the information in their mind would not be able to attempt. So I repeat, what you have to do is have a transcript in front of you, play the audio, listen to the audio and read the transcript and thoroughly understand along with it. Once the tape stops, move on to the questions, move on to the test where you see the questions and answer from the information there in your mind. And after attempting the answers without listening to the audio, check your work. See how many you got correct. This way, you will learn how to retain the information in your mind, listen to the complete context, and understand the complete context as well. Try it out and you will definitely be benefited. So in this video, I have this exercise for you. Now I will show you the transcript and along with that we will play the audio. You listen to the audio, read the transcript along, understand it well. Later on you would be provided with MCQ questions based on that transcript with a certain time period, and then we will show you the correct answer. So let's check it out how you are going to perform in this exercise. If you really like the strategy that I have shared with you in this video, please tell me in the comment section and also share your score. Thanks very much for joining and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Now listen and answer questions 27 to 30.
You only had women performers in your study. Was that because male musicians are less worried about fashion?
I think a lot of the men are very much influenced by fashion, but in social terms, the choices they have are more limited. They'd really upset audiences if they strayed away from quite narrow boundaries.
Now, popular music has quite different expectations. Did you read Mike Frost's article about the dress of women performers in popular music?
No.
Well, he points out that a lot of female singers and musicians in popular music tend to dress down in performances and wear less feminine clothes, like jeans instead of skirts. And he suggests this is because otherwise they'd just be discounted as trivial.
But you could argue they're just wearing what's practical. I mean, a pop music concert is usually a pretty energetic affair.
Yes, he doesn't make that point, but I think you're probably right. I was interested by the effect of the audience at a musical performance when it came to the choice of dress.
The subjects I interviewed felt this was really important. It's all to do with what we understand by performance as a public event. They believed the audience had certain expectations, and it was up to them as performers to fulfill these expectations, to show a kind of esteem.
They weren't afraid of looking as if they'd made an effort to look good.
I think in the past, the audience would have had those expectations of one another too, but that's not really the case now. Not in the UK, anyway.
No.
And I also got interested in what sports scientists are doing too with regard to clothing.
Musicians are quite vulnerable physically, aren't they? Because the movements they carry out are very intensive and repetitive. So I'd imagine some features of sports clothing could safeguard the players from the potentially dangerous effects of this sort of thing.
Yes, but musicians don't really consider it. They avoid clothing that obviously restricts their movements, but that's as far as they go.
Anyway, coming back to your own research, do you have any idea where you're going from here?
I was thinking of doing a study using an audience, including...
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.